Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World Hepatitis Day. With the theme for 2025, let's break it down. 28 July is an opportunity to step up national and international efforts on hepatitis, encouraging actions and engagement by individuals, partners, and the public, and highlight the need for greater global response, as outlined in the World Health Organization's Global Hepatitis Report of 2017. The date of 28 July was chosen because it is the birthday of Nobel Prize winning scientist Dr. Baruch Bulber, who discovered hepatitis B virus, HBV, and developed a diagnostic test and vaccine for the virus. Low coverage of testing and treatment is most important gap to be addressed in order to achieve the global elimination goals by 2030. So 304 million people are living with chronic hepatitis B and C in 2022. Only 45% of babies received the hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours of birth in 2022. And 1.3 million people died of chronic hepatitis B and C in 2022. So World Hepatitis Day is observed each year on 28 July to raise awareness of viral hepatitis and inflammation of the liver that causes severe liver disease and liver cancer. The theme for 2025, Hepatitis Let's Break It Down, calls for urgent action to dismantle the financial, social, and systematic barriers, including stigma, that stand in the way of hepatitis elimination and liver cancer prevention. Chronic hepatitis B and C silently cause liver damage and cancer despite being them preventable, treatable, and in the case of hepatitis C, curable. The theme emphasizes the need to simplify, scale up, and integrate hepatitis services, vaccination, safe injection practices, harm reduction, and especially testing and treatment into national health systems. The campaign is a reminder that we must act now to expand access, integrate care, and end hepatitis as a public health problem by 2030. So we will look in detail of each category some other time, and we will move on with other commemorations. Today is commemorated as World Nature Conservation Day on July 28th. This day stresses the need for preserving a healthy environment and natural resources to maintain a stable and healthy society. Saving plants and animals that face the threat of extinction is one of the primary goals of World Nature Conservation Day. Also, the celebrations emphasize keeping the various components of nature, such as flora, fauna, energy resources, soil, water, and air, intact. In addition, World Nature Conservation Day underlines the need for preserving environment for future generations. We are therefore tasked with the need to leave a healthy planet for those coming after us to enjoy. Human activities during the last century have had a devastating impact on natural vegetation and other resources. The quest for rapid industrialization and cutting down of forest cover to make a space for ever growing population has caused climate change and other environmental implications. As much as awareness about environmental conservation has increased in the past few years, there is still a long way to go before positive steps show their results. In recent times, the need for conserving the environment has become more evident. The relentless human overexploitation of resources has led to unusual weather patterns, destruction of wildlife habitats, extinction of species, and loss of biodiversity. Sadly, this is the norm the world over. That's why organizations like the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, are important. In the first decade of its existence, the organization focused on examining how human activities affected nature. It is also promoting the use of environmental impact assessments, which have been widely adopted across industries. In the 1960s and 1970s, most of the IUCN's work was directed toward the protection of species and their habitats. In 1964, the IUCN founded the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, which is currently the world's most comprehensive data source on the risk of global extinction of species. In the 2000s, the IUCN introduced nature-based solutions. These are these are actions that conserve nature while also addressing global challenges such as climate change, security of food and water, and poverty elevation. The IUCN is currently the world's largest and most diverse environmental network. Conservation is broadly divided into two types: in situ, conservation of habitats, species, and ecosystems, where they naturally occur, and ex situ conservation in the context of natural habitats through zoos, botanical gardens, and seed banks. Conservation promotes the sustainable use of nature by humans for activities such as logging, hunting, or mining, while preservation means protecting nature from human use. Biodiversity is vital for a flourishing natural world as well as supporting economies, livelihoods, food security, and health of humans. Conserving water is important because it keeps water clean and pure while protecting the environment. Plastic is cheap and very convenient to use, but it comes with environmental implications. Plastic products are non biodegradable and are an eyesore in our surroundings. Switch to products made of degradable and natural components instead. Cut down on plastic use. Tech e-waste with fast-pacing change pace of technology, people buy new electronic items without thinking where the old products will end up. Most of the e-waste products is improperly disposed of. Aim to reduce your e-waste. Look for recycling options before buying new products. One of the biggest efforts of climate change has been the decreasing level of safe drinking water. Simple steps like turning off water taps when not in use can save thousands of gallons of water in a year. Extinction is happening on a massive scale. Around 1 million species of plants and animals are nearly extinct, and more reserves are needed. Only 12.5% of the landmass on Earth is dedicated to natural reserves. Expensive invasive species, the UK, US, India, and South Africa, Brazil, Australia suffer an annual combined of loss of $316 billion due to invasive species. The World Wildlife Fund Living's Planet Report 2020 states that there has been an average 68% drop in the global population sizes of birds, amphibians, ships, mammals, and reptiles between 1970 and 2016. So, wildlife population sizes have greatly declined. Freshwater wildlife species populations are declining disproportionately faster than others, decreasing by an average age of 84% between 1970 and 2018. So, freshwater species are declining the fastest. Sometimes people become unconsciously reckless in their interactions with the environment. This day is a reminder to treat the earth with respect. It reminds us to stay mindful. It protects the environment. The natural world has suffered so much destruction at the hands of human beings. World Nature Conservation Day protects the environment from further harm. Conservation can sometimes feel like abstract concept. This day helps us put things into perspective and make tangible positive changes. It's a chance to make a real impact. Today is also commemorated as Peru Independence Day in Peru. We are on July 28th. It is a historic day for the people of Peru, whereby they celebrate their hard-earned independence. Peru is the famous land of Machu Picchu, Colco Canyon, Rainbow Mountains, the Amazon jungle, etc. This day is also known as Fiestas Patrias in Peru. This day is always celebrated on July 28th and marked the declaration of independence from Spain in 1821. People in Peru celebrate the day by listening to the speech of their president from Plaza de Armas, where he will be explaining the nation's progress thus far. So, Peru is a South American nation situated on the northeastern border of the continent. Peru is South American nation situated on the northeastern border of the continent. It is a land of numerous wonders and is known for its diversity of flora and fauna. The landscape itself is also diverse, ranging from arid plains in the Pacific to the sky-high peaks of the Andes. Most of the country is covered by the dense Amazon rainforest. The culture of the nation is especially famous as it is home to several ancient cultures. The nation has one of the longest living civilizations histories of any nation. Peru is also known for its possession of nuclear weapons, the highest production of GDP, and the largest corporate chain in the world. The name Peru comes from Quechua word meaning land of abundance. The name is a subtle nod to the economic wealth created by the Inca civilization. During its peak, the human history of the nation started 1500 years ago. The Norte Chico civilization, one of the six oldest civilizations in the world, originated in Peru. It is also the home of the rich and organized Inca Empire and the largest, most advanced stage in pre-Columbian America. Today is also commemorated as National Water Park Day in US. On July 28th, a trip to the local water park is one of the best ways of spending your summer. There are plenty of rides suitable for different ages, so there's something for a whole family to enjoy. The end of July is synonymous with poolsides, wave pools, and 80-foot tall slides mounted on steel towers. Whether you are a thrill seeker or a lazy vacationer, water parks have something for every taste. Nothing beats being in water to cool off during the summer. As you splash around the water rides, you will experience lots of fun and laughter, and it's a perfect way to stay cool on the sweltering summer days while creating fun memories with your friends and family. What's more, many water parks these days, even with small ones, are in this all-in-one resorts with spas and hotels to boot. Don't miss out on the fun of this summer. There's plenty of time to make plans for this year's National Water Park Day. Today is also commemorated as National Soccer Day in US. It honors and celebrates one of the world's most competitive and popular sports. Every year, more than 17 million, around 5% Americans watch soccer matches during the National Football League, NPL. The irresistible urge to kick a rock lying by our feet is something we all have in common, and a soccer ball is a just bigger but less heavy version of the round stone. Following the logic, every civilization has its version of soccer from the time immemorial. People in ancient China played a type of soccer in Suzhou. So, in modern form, soccer can be traced back to London as it was played in two stages or two styles, rugby and eton. In the beginning, the game rules were liberal and there weren't many restraints, so many people participated in the sport. However, the lack of rules often led to heated matches and fatal injuries. Eventually, the game's violent nature and serious injury toil led to the countrywide ban, yet the game was so popular that the restrictions were lifted instantly. A few centuries later, in 1863, the first football association was formed in London. The association standardized and established the first version of soccer rules. They also banned the use of hands in the game and created standards for the size and weight of the ball used in the game. The new set of rules and standards divided the game into two classes: football and rugby. Rugby allows players to hold the ball in their hands and run, but soccer does not. Over time, the game's popularity spread the England into its colonies, such as what it is now known as the US. So Edward II banned soccer because it is dangerous and occasionally fatal to the participants. Today is also commemorated as National Milk Chocolate Day in the US on July 28, when solid chocolate is combined with either powdered, liquid, or condensed milk. It's known as milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is most popular member of the chocolate family. With good reason, it's creamy, smooth, and mostly used in candy bars. It is believed that in mid-1800s, milk chocolate was first created as a beverage in Germany. The first milk chocolate in the form of a bar that we all recognize today was created by Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter while collaborating with Henry Nestle, the founder of his Nestle Chocolate Company. So if you are a true chocoholic, get ready to celebrate all things milk chocolate. Today is commemorated as H.M. King's birthday in Thailand on July 28th every year. The day commemorates the King of Thailand's birthday, Vajiralongkorn, who was born on this day in 1952. He is the only son of King Bhumibol Adulyadej and Queen Sirkin. When he was 20, he was made crown prince by his father in 2022. Returns and many celebrations were held in his name because of his importance to the Thai people. Today is also commemorated as first sermon of Lord Buddha on July 28 in Bhutan, which falls on the fourth day of the sixth month of the Bhutanese calendar. This year, the holiday is set to happen on July 28. The first sermon of Lord Buddha, officially known as Drukpa Chezi, is a non-working holiday in Bhutan. As the name suggests, Drukpa Chezi marks the anniversary of the first sermon given by Lord Buddha in the Deer Park in Isipatana, India, over 2,500 years ago. The sermon also marks the creation of the Buddhist Sangha or monkhood. Born in Lumbini, India, Siddhartha Gautama was a member of aristocratic Shakya clan during the reign of Bimbasara, the ruler of the Magadha Empire. The sheltered young man, as the story goes, embarked on a journey outside the walls of his palace, and upon seeing the reality of suffering beyond aristocratic luxury, renounced his place in society and adopted an ascetic lifestyle. He began traveling across the Gangetic Plain in order to spread its message of a middle path after many years of meditation and mendicancy. He is believed to have attained enlightenment, the knowledge of the understanding of the cycle of the life and death, and how to lead a good life of moderation. His first sermon, entitled Setting the Wheel of Dharma in Motion, was delivered over 2,500 years ago in the Deer Park in Isipatana, India. In his sermon, Gautama stated the Four Noble Truths: the existence of the suffering, the cause of suffering can end, and the path to end the suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path: the right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, and right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Following this path would allow a person to break away from suffering and attain nirvana. So, post his death, Gautama came to be known as Buddha, which means the enlightened one. Today is also commemorated as Drukpa in Bhutan, which commemorates the auspicious day when Gautam Buddha delivered his first sermon after his enlightenment. Buddha spelled out the Four Noble Truths that he learned through his enlightenment. This was so that his disciples and followers too can take path to salvation. Buddhists in Bhutan, Tibet, and Sikkim observe this day by chanting prayers and holding a yak race. Besides religious ceremonies, the locals also host a cultural feast. It comprises traditional yak races and a buffer of delectable Sikkimese delicacies for visitors Mogutang in northern Sikkim and the Deer Park in Gangtok are two of the major hosts of Drukpad Teshi in India. In Bhutan, the festival is celebrated in every part of the country with pomp and fervor. Today is also commemorated as Day of Cantabria Institutions. On July 28 marks the anniversary of when autonomous province of Cantabria was created. Many people outside of Spain may not know of Cantabria. We go out on a limb and say most of us don't know Spain beyond Madrid and Barcelona. Cantabria's stories is a proof of that is an independent province in the north of Spain, famous for its natural and cultural beauty, with a way of life and identity like other parts of the Spain. It's no surprise why Cantabrians are a proud people. So most of us may think Spain is a culturally homogeneous country, but it is not so. In reality, Spain comprises several autonomous regions. Each one of these possesses a certain level of self-governance and distinct cultural identities. Cantabria on the northern coast is one such example. Centuries ago, history first recorded the emergence of a region called Cantabria, home to one of the fairest Celtic tribes and the world has seen. The region history goes as far back as 3600 BC to 9000 BC. Stories of a fascinating past are evident from 6500 caves in Cantabria and 60 of which contain cave paintings by people in the Paleolithic age. Eventually, the region came under the control of Roman Empire, despite the Cantabrians putting up a courageous fight. Cantabria was one of the last places to fail the Roman conquest ushered in the era of turmoil, where everyone from the Visigoths to the Moors tried taking control of Cantabria. The region finally merged with local kingdoms such as Castile and Asturias. At the turn of 18th century, interest in the unique Cantabrian identity rose once again. Several movements of cultural and social resurgence ensued around this time. The Cantabrians became serious about forming an independence province. The first attempt took place at the start of the century but was unsuccessful. The wheels began to turn again at the end of the 18th century. Finally, the province of Cantabria was officially born in 1778. Today, Cantabria is an autonomous region in Spain. The Day of Cantabria Institutions commemorates the journey to self-governance and the people's freedom. Today is also commemorated as Buffalo Soldiers Day in US, the first peacetime all-black army regiment, which we honor on Buffalo Soldiers Day. July 28th each year was formed mainly to keep order in the wild west of the Civil War. In such a rough and tumble place where unknown natural dangers and thieves abounded, the Buffalo Soldiers had extremely low desertion rates. These brave men of the 9th and 10th Cavalry regiments were inexplicably named the Buffalo Soldiers, not by their leadership, but by the Native American tribes they came into contact with, and no one quite knows why. These troops help catch the cattle thieves, protect national parks, ensure the safe travel of settlers from the east, and much more. Today, we honor their service in helping our country safe and being a groundbreaking step towards greater racial equality in the military. Today is also commemorated as the anniversary of the fall of fascism and Freedom Day in San Marino. Is a small republic situated on the slopes of Mount Titano on the Arctic side of central Italy between the Marche and the Emilia-Romagna regions and surrounded by the Republic of Italy. The celebration is a public day. It commemorates the end of the rule of fascist party in San Marino on this day, 1943. During the World War II, San Marino adopted a fascist type of government. So the end of the First War marked the start of the period of economic hardship for this tiniest of republics. The highest unemployment rate and inflation led to the Sammarinese Fascist Party, PFS, gaining control in 1923. Their control of power was reinforced by the success of Benito Mussolini's fascist government in Italy. San Marino adopted a fascist type of government during the period of Mussolini's rule in Italy. Although San Marino's neutrality continued during World War II, Allied planes bombed it on June 26, 1994. This caused heavy material damage, especially to the railway line, and many people were killed. The resources of San Marino were sorely taxed to provide food and shelter for the over 1 lakh refugees who obtained sanctuary during the war. So, moreover, neutrality did not protect the fortunes of PFS, and on July 25, 1943, having led Italy to several significant military defeats, Benito Mussolini was dismissed as the head of the government in Italy and placed in custody. Three days later, on July 28, the route of the PFS collapsed since the fate of Mussolini emboldened the people of San Marino to remove their fascist government. San Marino's post-fascist position, the new government quickly reaffirmed its neutrality. However, this declaration of neutrality did not stop the Allies from bombing San Marino and the Germans briefly occupying the country before the end of the war. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. So before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations and celebrations.